the first is from the beginning, so it gives you sort of a taste of what's going on. This is the story of how I, Birdie Bolt, single-handedly broke up one of the coolest bands to come out of New York City. At least that's what all the tabloid headlines have been saying. It's hard to avoid them, the tabloids. They're on the internet and newsstands everywhere you look. People read them and start whispering and pointing. What the writers of those headlines don't know is that what happened this past week probably wouldn't have happened at all if it weren't for my brother Anthony. It wasn't some twist of fate or karmic intervention that paved the way, but my dumb brother making another one of his impulsive decisions that he's so well known for back home. Even as I write this now, Sage Riggs himself is sleeping soundly next to me, his face practically jewel glued to the train window. Exposure to the Bolt family for any extended period of time can do that to a person. But I'm getting ahead of myself. And so now, in the interest of time, if there's anything you should know about the relationship that I have with my brothers, it's that I love both of those knuckleheads unconditionally. They drive me absolutely crazy sometimes, and I've often fantasized about pushing them out of a moving vehicle into oncoming traffic, as siblings do from time to time. But sure. But it's difficult to imagine what my life would be like without them. I probably would have spent a lot more time than I already did with my nose buried in the pages of a book and less time getting in trouble for things like skipping class or when I stole a bottle of vodka out of her parents' liquor cabinet for a party. Roy was wild when he was a kid, always running around with his shirt off and with mud and leaves stuck in his hair. He was an angry kid too, always getting into fights. He would fight with our parents, with teachers, friends, our little brother Anthony. Roy would have picked a fight with the wind for blowing too hard if he could have. He never got angry with me, though, and for that I'm eternally grateful. I helped him cover the holes he left in the walls of his bedroom with posters of half-clad models and rock stars. It was Vance Cooper who saved Roy from his anger. Our mother will tell you that it was the therapy, but the rest of us know better. It was like living with another person altogether once Roy started playing hockey. He led Red Lake High School to 3 consecutive championships while he was on the team. There's a banner in the gym with a picture of him, and only him, emblazoned on it. That's how good he was. I drank my first beer with Roy. I smoked pot the first time with Roy. Roy dragged me to the parties that he was invited to. Roy sat me down and gave me the talk when I first started dating. He taught me how to skate, holding onto my hands as he led me slowly and as wobbly-legged as a newborn fawn around the rink. For a little while, it was just Roy and I around to give our parents hell. And then, 3 years after I was born, along came little Anthony James Bolt, the golden child and gift to our family according to our mother. Roy and I like to call him Captain America, on account of his neat blonde hair, Colgate smile, right-angle jaw, and flawless manners. I'm telling you, there isn't a single little old lady in the town of Red Lake who doesn't love my baby brother. And then there's me, smack dab in between them. Now, just because I was raised alongside 2 brothers with a mother and a father who probably would have preferred if I were a boy too, and learned to skate on hand-me-down hockey blades, did not make me a tomboy growing up. Oh no, I knew how to properly throw a right hook, don't tuck your thumb in, but I also decorated my skates with glitter glue hearts and Hello Kitty stickers. Because I was a girl, and not only a girl, but Roy and Anthony's sister as well, my brothers felt it was necessary to create a clubhouse-style list of rules that I was to follow letter for letter at all times. Their list was as long as the Constitution. There were 2 rules in particular that were the most important to them. I was never allowed to tell our parents about what happened between the hours of 9 o'clock at night and 3 o'clock in the morning on July 15th, 2009. I will divulge that it involved a lot of alcohol, a BB gun that was reserved for shooting squirrels, and a trip to the hospital 2 towns over that resulted in 12 stitches in the palm of Roy's left hand. His pinky finger still curls in an unnatural way. The second rule maintained that I was able to hold my liquor. Roy and Anthony made it perfectly clear that they would not have their only sister be the laughingstock at school just because she couldn't handle one last Jell-O shot. You know that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Marion Ravenwood is throwing back shots with the nefarious Nazi sympathizer Renee Belloc in an attempt to escape his clutches and get back to Indy? In the process, she proves to the audience that she is not only clever, but as badass as the film's protagonist himself. And she manages all this while looking spectacularly feminine in a glowing white slip dress. That was what my brothers expected me to be. a spectacularly feminine badass. There were some nights, many nights in fact, during which I lived up to their expectations. There were others, like the night in that stage, that I did not. I'd like to introduce you guys to Sean Chambers. I met Sean for the first time last semester, and was introduced to his work when he was traveling back and forth from Philadelphia to attend class, which blew my mind. And Sean's poetry and fiction, which is what I was introduced to, has a very distinct voice, and I think you will find it. And as he says, it's inspired by his family experiences in post-integration era Virginia from the 1960s through the 1990s, and from their point of view on the black hand side, as he says. His works include a novel called A Love in Progress about two adult brothers in divorce, and Outgoing, an absurdist play that won't act right about three retired black politicians who kidnap and torture an award-winning white writer for writing musically about their lives.
Good evening, everybody. I want to say congratulations to everybody who's completed the program, and it was an honor and a privilege to learn from you and read with you, and I'm grateful that you read with me and helped me get better. This is from A Love in Progress.